The room fell silent the moment the first chess piece moved, not because of the game, but because of the tension in the air. Two powerful men sat across from each other at a marble table inside a private business lounge overlooking Manhattan, and neither of them realized that the smallest person in the room, a quiet 6-year-old boy sitting near the window, was about to change every life there. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the quiet power of unexpected heroes, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to this channel. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts around the world. The man on the left side of the table was Khalid al-Rashid, an Arab billionaire investor known in global business circles for his razor-sharp mind, icy confidence, and brutal honesty. His tailored charcoal suit alone cost more than most people's cars. He didn't smile often. He didn't lose often. Across from him sat Daniel Carter, a mid-level American tech CEO struggling to keep his company alive after 2 failed product launches and months of mounting pressure from shareholders. Daniel had accepted Khalid's invitation to play chess as part of a final negotiation attempt. If he impressed Khalid, he might secure the investment that could save everything. Daniel's hands trembled slightly as he made his first move. He had not slept in 2 nights. Between overdue bills, his collapsing company, and raising his 6-year-old son Noah alone after his wife passed from cancer 2 years earlier, life had become a constant storm of exhaustion and quiet fear. He brought Noah with him today because the babysitter canceled last minute and he couldn't afford to miss this meeting. Noah sat on a soft bench near the glass wall, clutching his small backpack and coloring in a worn notebook. He was thin, dark-haired, with large observant eyes that seemed to absorb everything. Khalid studied the board, then Daniel, then smirked. Within 10 minutes, the game shifted. Khalid dominated the board with effortless precision. Every move Daniel made was met with a calm, almost bored counter. A few executives watching from nearby whispered among themselves. Khalid finally leaned back and spoke with cool amusement, explaining how Daniel's strategy showed ambition without preparation, how his company's failures reflected the same weakness he now saw on the board. He wasn't shouting. He didn't need to. His words cut sharper than anger ever could. Daniel nodded, swallowing the weight of the moment. He felt exposed, small, and defeated, not just as a businessman, but as a man trying desperately to hold a life together for his child. Then, something unexpected happened. A tiny voice floated across the room. Noah had looked up from his drawing. His eyes were fixed on Khalid. In soft, clear Arabic, the boy calmly said that the move Khalid had just made would trap his own queen in 4 turns if Daniel didn't panic. The words weren't shouted. They weren't meant to interrupt. They were simply spoken, innocent and certain. The entire room froze. Khalid's head snapped toward the child. No one else there spoke Arabic. Daniel turned, stunned. He didn't even know Noah knew the language. Khalid slowly leaned forward, eyes narrowing, then returned his gaze to the board. His fingers hovered over the pieces. For the first time since the match began, uncertainty flickered across his face. He recalculated. Then again, the boy was right. Khalid looked back at Noah. The billionaire rose from his chair and walked slowly across the marble floor until he stood in front of the small bench. He crouched to the child's eye level, and in Arabic, gently asked where he had learned such a language in such a game. Noah explained that his mother had been Syrian, that she taught him chess during her chemotherapy sessions because it helped her forget the pain, and that Arabic was the only language they spoke together at night. When she passed, Noah promised himself he would never forget either. The room remained silent. Khalid straightened, his expression no longer mocking, no longer distant. Something in his face had changed, something deeply human. He returned to the table and resumed the game. The next 20 minutes unfolded like a storm. Daniel, Following, quiet hand gestures from his son and subtle nods, began regaining ground. The whispers stopped. The executives leaned closer. Khalid no longer smiled. When the match finally ended, Khalid placed his king on its side. He had lost. But the real shift happened afterward. Khalid didn't leave. He didn't make excuses. He asked Daniel to walk with him to the window overlooking the city. He spoke about his own childhood, about fleeing conflict with his mother, about learning chess on a refugee camp floor, about losing her before he ever became the man he was now. He said that seeing Noah reminded him of the boy he once was, quiet, watching the world, waiting for someone to notice. That same evening, Khalid signed the investment contract. But he didn't stop there. Within weeks, Daniel's company stabilized. Khalid introduced him to global partners, restructured the business model, and personally ensured Daniel had access to resources most CEOs only dreamed of. Daniel's financial fears slowly lifted. The late nights of panic turned into cautious hope. Yet the most powerful moment came one afternoon when Khalid visited Daniel's modest apartment unannounced. He brought Noah a handcrafted chessboard carved from olive wood and ivory, shipped from the Middle East, and placed it on the kitchen table. He told the boy that his mother would have been proud, not because of the chess, but because of the kindness in his heart. Daniel stood in the doorway, tears sliding down his face, unable to speak. Months passed. Daniel's company became one of the fastest-growing tech firms in its sector. He moved Noah into a better school, their home filled with laughter again. Life slowly felt possible. One evening, Daniel watched Noah teaching another child chess at the park, patiently explaining each move in both English and Arabic. The sun dipped low, the city hummed, and Daniel realized that sometimes the smallest voices carry the greatest power. Near the end of that year, Khalid invited them both to a private gala in Dubai. When asked publicly why he had chosen to invest in a struggling company run by a single father few had heard of, Khalid simply said he invested in character, in courage, and in a 6-year-old boy who reminded him what really matters. If this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment now to like this video, share it, and subscribe. And before the story ends, I'd love for you to comment below what moment in this story moved you the most. Daniel never forgot the day his life changed, not because of a deal, not because of money, but because his child dared to speak when no one else would. Sometimes hope doesn't arrive with noise or power. Sometimes it speaks softly, in the voice of a child,